Hey, appreciate you. Everything that you done for me.
I really like Terence Crawford, right? Because of his switch hitting style. Now, Terence Crawford is due a massive, he's due a massive performance. And I think Canelo's made for him. Canelo doesn't fight with any urgency anymore.
I know his spirit.
Yeah?
Yeah, he got a killer in him. He a silent killer. I've been around niggas like that in the hood. Them niggas lay back until you bring it out, and then they just...
Terence Crawford has officially completed the last day of his training camp ahead of his highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Joining him in camp was Turki Alalshik, who showed his full support for Crawford during these final preparations. Crawford thanked Turki for standing by his side and being part of the journey, but made it clear that the mission isn't over yet. With confidence and focus, he promised that all the hard work put in at camp will show when it's time to step into the ring.
Hey, appreciate you. Everything that you done for me. You and Riyadh City.
You must.
The job ain't done yet.
Yeah.
The job ain't done yet.
Yeah. And Saturday, deliver the job.
But listen, I appreciate the opportunity.
No retirement.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford is in the final stretch of his camp, showing nothing but determination as he prepares. For the biggest challenge of his career against Canelo Alvarez, training has been intense. His sparring sessions are sharp, his reflexes tuned, and his defense polished while keeping his offense fast and accurate. His team has praised the discipline and focus he's shown, proving he's left no detail overlooked. Recent footage captures Crawford in peak condition, lean, powerful, and ready to enter the ring with complete confidence. Crawford's determination is impossible to miss. In his recent interviews, he's spoken with confidence, making it clear that while the challenge won't be easy, he truly believes victory is within reach. Both his words and training footage show a fighter who embraces pressure, fully aware of the magnitude of facing a champion like Canelo Alvarez, yet never doubting his own skill set. Beyond the physical grind, Crawford has prepared mentally, conditioning himself to stay composed under fire. He assures fans that no matter how tough the battle gets, his strategy, discipline, and self-belief will be the keys that carry him through.
How do you see this fight with Canelo going?
I'm definitely going to win the fight, for sure. But, I think it's going to be a tough fight. I think he's going to bring the best out of me. I'm going to bring the best out of him, and it's going to be exciting.
Unlike many fighters who risk overtraining in pursuit of perfection, Crawford has taken a measured and disciplined approach. He's been open about not wanting to push his body past its limits, instead focusing on giving maximum effort within well-structured sessions. It's a sign of maturity and experience, an athlete who values recovery just as much as hard work. Crawford makes it clear that the intensity he's already put into camp is enough, knowing that unnecessary strain could lead to fatigue or injury before the night of the fight.
Right now, I'm not training hard. I'm not even training, really. I don't want to overtrain because me personally, when I go in the gym, I give my all, and I don't want to burn myself out.
Lester Martinez, Crawford's lead sparring partner, has issued a strong warning about what lies ahead for Canelo. After spending countless rounds trading leather with Crawford in camp, Martinez revealed that Terence's power is on another level, something even Canelo will have a hard time handling. While many assume Canelo will enjoy the size advantage, Martinez insists Crawford feels just as big and just as strong inside the ropes. He described the intensity of Crawford's shots as beast-like, leaving no doubt in his mind that Canelo is walking into a dangerous challenge. Insights like these carry real weight, since sparring partners often give the most genuine glimpse into a fighter's true form before fight night.
No, está como dicen muchos, está cabrón. Está preparado, está listo, a pesar de venir de una categoría muy abajo, subir a la 168, pues yo te digo, los sparring con él tanto lo he ayudado como he sentido que él me ha ayudado también a mí. Entonces, anteriormente estaba enfocado en ayudarlo, pero luego que me dijeron que yo iba a pelear, ¿sabes qué? Necesito ayudarte, pero que me ayudes. Y ya en el ring nos entendemos. Yo casi no hablo inglés. Todavía voy practicándolo, pero en el ring nos entendemos muy bien. Y hay una buena vibra, pero él está listo. Y yo también estoy listo.
El tema del peso, ¿cómo crees lo afectará en la noche de la pelea haciendo sparring con él?
¿Cómo?
Haciendo sparring con Terence, la gente habla, pues el Canelo es muy grande, sí. 2 categorías.
Bueno, en realidad en tamaño creo que están iguales. Pero en diferencia de peso, sí, a lo mejor Canelo está más acostumbrado a esa categoría que Terence. Pero te digo, vengo haciendo sparring con él desde que estaba en las 147 libras. Mi primer sparring con él en las 147. Yo era ya 168, sigo siendo 168. Y lo único que hizo ahora pues es subir de peso, aumentar de peso. Y sí, se siente muy diferente haber hecho sparring con él en 147 y ahora hacer sparring con él en 168. Pero yo creo que...
¿Cómo se siente diferente?
En el sentido que le he sentido más pegada, más explosivo. La rapidez, el snap lo tiene todavía el cabrón, no lo ha perdido, lo he sentido. Pero creo que la nutrición que lleva, el equipo de trabajo con el que tiene.
Former world champion Duke McKenzie has made a bold call, predicting that Terence, Crawford is the fighter built to break down Canelo Alvarez. According to McKenzie, many of Canelo's recent opponents have been strong, but not truly elite, whereas Crawford brings a different kind of danger. He highlighted Crawford's versatility, his ability to adjust on the fly, and his high boxing IQ as the key factors that could expose cracks in Canelo's game. While Alvarez has beaten a wide range of fighters, McKenzie believes he has yet to face someone with Crawford's blend of timing, precision, and all-around skill.
Over the years, when you look, since he's been off the mad cow meat, right? You look at his last 5 fights, he's boxed ordinary fighters, you know. And they're not in the same league. They're really not in the same league. And I think to myself, his last 5 fights, what's that kid's name? Hamza Shiraz, right? Mm-hmm. So he boxed in his last fight. He knocked out, what's the kid's name?
Belanga.
Right, he knocked out Belanga. Belanga took your man there. He took him the distance. Now you only got to balance it up. If Belanga can take him the distance, you got to say to yourself, what is Terence Crawford going to do to Canelo Cotto. I've got the names mixed up. Yeah, right. So what's he going to do to you know what? I look at the fight and I think to myself, I really like Terence Crawford, right? Because of his switch hitting style. Now, Terence Crawford is due a massive performance. And I think Canelo's made for him. Canelo doesn't fight with any urgency anymore. You don't get any head movement from him anymore. He doesn't show you a punch and hit you with another one anymore. There's no variety in his whole sort of makeup. And I look at him and I think to myself, Canelo's become, just in my opinion, I think he's become a little bit pedestrian in as much as goes in straight lines, comes out in straight lines. There's no urgency to his work.
One of the biggest talking points before this fight has been the size difference. Critics warned that Terence Crawford moving up in weight to face Canelo Alvarez could leave him at a major disadvantage. But recent training footage has flipped that narrative on its head. Crawford now looks bigger, stronger, and more conditioned than ever. So much so that many analysts have started to shift their predictions in his favor. What's impressed observers most is how he's been able to bulk up without sacrificing his speed or precision. In fact, some experts are no longer just talking about Crawford pulling off the win. They're entertaining the possibility of a knockout. His transformation has forced the boxing world to rethink whether Canelo's supposed size advantage will matter at all once they square off inside the ring.
Don't win fights. And everybody, it seems like, that says muscles don't win fights usually have ridiculous muscle mass. Like Devin Haney was like, muscles don't win. And Devin's like way bigger than everybody else at 135 pounds and jacked to the gills. That's that snack shit. Okay, we're not doing that. But Terence Crawford also on that snack shit. Anyway, Bud Crawford did just drop a body transformation pic. Let's take a look at it. Boom! Son, I'm sorry, I have a flat tire. Does anyone have a jack to help me out? Oh, thank you, Bud Crawford. You're actually huge. The man has abs on his abs on his abs. I'm not trying to glaze, but that doesn't look like a 147 pounder. It doesn't look like a 154 pounder. That looks like a grown man. He's definitely put some weight on, coming to 168 pounds. And I can tell you that now. Take what I'm about to show you with a grain of salt because it is on weigh-in day, but look at what he was at 140 pounds. Now, again, he's out of camp, hasn't made the weight cut yet, but that's him right now. But, I mean, that is crazy. Couple of things. Yes, muscles don't win you fights, and the biggest question we have to ask now is, how will this newfound muscle mass affect Bud Crawford in the fight? Because one of the things I have said continuously about this fight is that the weight issue has been completely overblown by people. And what I mean is there is not a massive weight disparity between these two fighters. What Canelo walks around at and what Terence Crawford walks around at is probably similar, and maybe Terence Crawford even weighs a little more. I don't know. I saw the picture of the scale of him at 186. It may be a little less when he's normally not trying to gain weight, but that's not the point of the weight difference. The point of saying there is a weight difference is that Canelo Alvarez has consistently fought and been successful at 160 to 168.
A bit of controversy has surfaced after analyst Showbiz, the adult raised eyebrows about Turki Alshik's role in Terence Crawford's camp. In some training footage, Turki is heard advising Crawford not to retire after the Canelo fight. Showbiz suggested this could carry a deeper meaning, hinting that there might be expectations tied to the fight arrangements. While his comments are speculative, they've fueled discussions among fans and analysts about whether outside influences could play any role in such a massive event. For now, it remains only a talking point, but it has added another layer of intrigue to an already high-stakes matchup.
On the first part, return the favor. But Turki, in a second thought, said, no, I'm going to deliver this message. He goes back to Bud and he says, and don't retire after this. Don't retire.
No retirement. Let's get it. Yeah.
That's what Turki meant when he was trying to say, return the favor.
Guys, you must
The job ain't done
return
yet.
it. Yeah.
I did this for you. You got this big fight. Yeah, the job ain't done. Deliver the job, but don't retire. Return the favor. That is the most important part, and we're going to break that down. The deliver the job thing, that is more of a language difference, okay? Because Bud is saying, listen, the job ain't done. He said, oh yeah, deliver the job Saturday. Mostly meaning put on a good fight. Fight your heart out. If you win, cool. That'll be best if you win. But I'm just saying it's not about winning. Winning is about trying. Winning is about going for greatness. Marvelous Marvin Hagler wasn't undefeated. Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran, Muhammad Ali, Sam Langford, Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, some of these Gene Tunney, some of the greatest fighters of all time, Willie Pep, Sammy Sadler. These guys weren't undefeated, right? But that's what made them great, is that they were taking on all challenges. His Excellency Turki Alshik knows that the product isn't the fighter. The product is the sport. So he's trying to put on the best matches, which is why he's saying, don't retire, return the favor, because I got more ideas for you.
Rapper Boozy also weighed in on the upcoming clash, describing Terence Crawford as a silent assassin inside the ring. He explained that Crawford's calm demeanor and quiet confidence make him even more dangerous, as he doesn't rely on trash talk or flashy antics to intimidate opponents. Instead, he lets his actions speak for themselves, fueled by discipline and determination. Boozy warned that Canelo should be very cautious, since Crawford's composure often masks the explosive power and sharp precision he brings on fight night. By calling him a silent assassin, Boozy captured the essence of Crawford's character, a fighter who doesn't chase attention with words, but makes his statements with his fists.
Yes. I know his spirit.
Yeah?
Yeah, he got a killer in him. He a silent killer. I've been around niggas like that in the hood. Them niggas lay back until you bring it out them, then they just, you know, I've been like that with them niggas. Like I didn't watch Crawford. I didn't hung out with this nigga. This is my boy. Like this nigga got a killer in him. You know, Canelo better be fucking ready. Like this nigga got a killer in him, bro.
Boxing analyst Russ Anber pointed out how extraordinary Terence Crawford's decision really is. jumping up multiple weight divisions to challenge one of the sport's most dominant champions. He noted that only a handful of fighters in history have dared to make such a bold move, and even fewer have managed to succeed. According to Amber, this step shows not just Crawford's ambition, but also his willingness to put everything on the line in pursuit of greatness. He praised Crawford's fearlessness, adding that regardless of the outcome, this challenge already sets him apart from the majority of fighters.
Can't think of anybody, especially someone who hasn't even competed in that division. So, yeah, I can't think of anybody. And to think that Crawford, started out at 135. I mean, the last guy I can think of doing that would have been Duran. But I think Duran went up and won the title at middleweight, and he didn't do it all in one fell swoop. It was one weight category after another. Leonard at 35, Davey Moore at 54, then Iran Barkley at 60. I mean, it just kept moving up. But I don't know of anybody that's gone from 35 up to 168 and basically leapfrog the division. So from champion at 147, one fight at 154, and then leapfrogs over an entire section of top 10 contenders at 168 pounds, never having fought at 168. Oh, leapfrogs 160 over into the contenders at 168, right into a title shot. I can't think of anybody that's done that. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. Tommy, over the last couple of years, I think Canelo's come to rely on his power. Do you think that'll be enough against Crawford's ring IQ and his combinations and footwork?
I can't think of any fighter where punching power alone is enough. So, Canelo has come around with two things, punching power and defense. He's still very, very difficult to hit, which allows him to load up on shots and get into the range that he wants to get into, where he can fire away with hard punching power, not setting them up as much as he used to in the past, not having that, that same work rate that he used to have. But if he's just thinking of going out there looking for that one shot.
Another major talking point heading into this fight is the difference in size between the two men. For years, Canelo Alvarez has been viewed as the naturally bigger fighter, but recent footage of Terence Crawford has shifted that perception. Analysts note that Crawford already looked comfortable carrying extra weight when he moved up for the Madrimov fight, and now at 168 pounds he appears even stronger and more filled out. What has caught many observers by surprise is how well Crawford has bulked up without losing sharpness or speed. Instead of being dwarfed by Canelo's presence, Crawford now looks physically comparable, if not slightly ahead, which has changed. How many are evaluating this matchup?
Now, when he fought Israel Madrimov, that was at the 154-pound weight limit, but when Crawford actually got into the ring on fight night, he was actually the heavier of the two men, clocking in at 169.8 pounds, we'll call it 170 just for the ease of the video, but 170 pounds at 154, that's a very, very solid rehydration. That is a very good weight for a 154-pound fighter. And our man Canelo Alvarez gives us evidence and testament to this. I've gone back through the years to have a look at what Canelo weighed in the ring when he fought 154 pounds to give us context as to the size difference. And don't get me wrong, Canelo will be bigger now than he was back then, but Crawford will be too. Crawford will also put that extra size on, and whilst he's not experienced fighting with the extra weight, it will give us some kind of understanding of how much of an issue it might be. We'll take everything into account, but just to begin with, how big is the size difference? Well, going back and looking at some of these fights, we'll start with the Floyd Mayweather fight. So that was at 152-pound catch weight, and I said in my tactical video that Canelo was dehydrated for that one, that he wasn't at his maximum capability. Now, I still stand by that assessment because he was so green in his career, and because I feel his best performances have come at higher weight classes, and especially where he's not been having to cut lots of weight. But just for context in that one, he was 165 pounds in the ring versus Floyd that night. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather weighed 150.5 pounds, so there was actually a 14.5 pound weight difference that night. So you start to understand where I'm going with this in this video. I want to look at the context of where there's been weight gaps before. So someone who was 14.5 pounds lighter than Canelo was able to beat him on that night. Now look, Mayweather is an all-time great. Mayweather was unbelievably skilled and had soldiers tied up in knots. He couldn't do anything with him. But let's look at some other fights for some more context. When he fought Austin Trout, they were around about the same when they got in the ring. When they fought at 154 pounds, Canelo was 172 and Trout was 171. And that's really interesting to look at because that tells us that Canelo was only a couple of pounds heavier than Crawford when rehydrated when he fought at 154 pounds.
Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, has been firm in his belief that his fighter is already naturally bigger than most people realize. He explained that moving up to 168 pounds isn't the drastic leap many critics suggest. According to Bomac, Canelo Alvarez's size advantage is often exaggerated, and Crawford has the frame and strength to hold his own at super middleweight. His confidence highlights the mindset inside Team Crawford, that this isn't unfamiliar ground, but a weight class where Crawford can actually flourish.
Bomac also added that when Crawford said that he's gonna fight Canelo at 168, that he was completely fine with it because Crawford is already a natural big guy to begin with, and that once again, contrary to popular belief, Canelo is not the bigger guy. Basically, if anything, it's easier for Crawford because he's no longer gonna have to drain himself.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll catch you in the next one.